that he probably contributed $300 to $500 million privately to various charities, including the UNCF, because he believed in African American issues as well as global issues. I asked him about his thoughts on poverty worldwide, and he got very serious in talking to me. That's why you heard a lot of that in the lyrics of his music.
Roland Martin also joining us, watching this procession start to get very close to the Staples Center. Roland, you can hear helicopters over us, where we are just outside the Staples Center. Your thoughts?
Anderson, you were just talking about We Are the World, and when you really think about Michael Jackson in terms of his music, the reality is music crosses boundaries. They cross geographical lines. And so in many ways, this is not a Los Angeles production or a U.S. production. This is being viewed across the world. And when he died, you get radio stations across the world going wall to wall. And so when you think about his legacy, this is a guy, frankly, who was bigger than Elvis, who was bigger than Frank Sinatra. Some would argue was bigger than the Beatles. And so I think to close on We Are the World with such a world entertainer, I think makes a heck of a lot of sense. You also talked about this being, this is it. This really is the final performance. And the reality is Michael Jackson has indeed gone on top. You look at the record sales, you look at dominating coverage for 2 weeks, what he wanted to do in life, to be honest, he has achieved now in death. The question now is how soon can they build a lasting legacy to him? You think about Frank Sinatra. Yes, we revere Frank Sinatra, but there's nothing really there for people to continue to show their appreciation of Frank Sinatra like it is for Elvis. And so having that kind of memorial will be important. And in Gary, Indiana, they really want to build it there. And a lot of folks, the mayor, Rudy Clay's been talking with the family. They say centrally located next to Chicago. Folks could access it a lot better than they could at Neverland. So it makes a lot of sense.
Everybody, I would imagine, wants to build it wherever they are, because that's something that's going to bring people in from a long, long distance. It's interesting when you think about lasting legacy, Roland. You certainly think about his children, because he had said that one of the reasons that he wanted to take on this tour, 50 shows, was in part because he wanted his children to see him perform. And a realist will also tell you because he's got massive debt, and that was part of the reason also. But there is something about his children being sort of in that right age range, our children, Brian, and I both have kids that age, where you want them to understand what it is you're famous for, what it is you do, certainly.
He said how much the kids were important to him. When we did the interview, his son Blanket greeted us at the door.
Why was that his nickname?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a story behind there, but he was very well behaved. He offered us some candy, shook our hands. But you could tell the relationship between father and son was genuine. And I believe both Blanket, Paris, and Prince Michael really gave his life new meaning. And especially in the later years, it really gave him focus.
You can see outside the Staples Center now, those vehicles that were rolling through the highway have come to a stop because they are slowing down, getting ready to turn in, make their way right here where we are to the Staples Center. And again, the streets are clear. Really a testament to the job that the security, the police have done here, and not at an insignificant cost to a state that is having huge financial difficulties. But there have been, in every single shot we've seen, numerous police officers, mounted police. This, of course, to make sure that there's no mayhem at this scene, which is the family and very close friends who've been attending that private memorial service, really having a clear way into the Staples Center, and the hearse too, of course, most importantly, coming in and being able to place them below the stage where the memorial is going to take place.
And let's take you inside to the Staples Center. Don Lemon is inside there. He has been watching the preparations underway. Don, we have seen a space at the bottom of the stage that we believe is where the casket of Michael Jackson will be placed.
Yeah, that's what we believe, and you guys saw it on the way here. And just so to tell you about the folks who are arriving, you talked about the Reverend Jesse Jackson and his family arriving. They are inside now. Reverend Jesse Jackson, Jackie Jr., Yusuf, Santita Jackson, and all of the Jacksons here. And they're, Chicago, Gary, Indiana, very close, within 45 minutes of each other. And there are pictures here with the Jackson family, with the other Jackson family. I'm looking at, just this center here starting to fill up, guys, and people are, I heard you guys talking about a solemn mood. It is not solemn here. It's celebratory. People aren't being outrageous and aren't dancing in the streets, or in the aisles, I should say, but they're being very cordial, and they're just happy to be here. You can hear the announcement. I'm not sure if you can. It says the memorial service will start very soon. You can take your seats here. So just everyday folk who really love Michael Jackson from all over the world. And really, you know, we talk about these dignitaries and whatever. It's not really about them. You know, those are the people that get on television. Those are the names that, you know, people may perk up when they hear. But this is really about Michael Jackson, his family, and these people who supported him for years and years and years, and who came from all over the world just to pay tribute to him. There's a guy, right, I'm looking at now, has on a red Michael Jackson jacket from Thriller and the hat, and I've seen people with the gloves on, and everyone, ever since I put that program on television, my email box is clogged. I can't even send emails out. Everyone asking for this program, so certainly it is a collector's item, and if you can get your hands on one, it would be amazing to get one. I'm sure they're going to be in short supply very soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up on eBay very shortly as well, Soledad and Anderson.
Yeah, Don, we want to take a very short break, our last one before the ceremony begins, so let's take that break now. And again, our coverage continues online at CNN.com. You can join others talking about their remembrances of Michael Jackson, the community online. We'll be right back.